Give me. Go fix your network with some who start.
Na glow they use it.
God, I beg.
Na glow they use it. I don't get power.
This is beautiful.
Glow. Now somebody get on picture where they trade that here. They say Elumelu they do exercise. Somebody say, oh gas small, I beg my money in your bank, I beg. Oh yeah, I beg small.
They don't go to bury 100 million.
I beg. What they go say Tom Prince say when he fell down, his hand broke. And that's the hand that it was Tom Prince for accessing the bank.
Because we don't know if they run the kind this one man where we know they run. Say without them,
I beg
run.
I beg go. Say but small, I beg. Somebody say it reached my turn to enjoy to chop life. Nigeria spoil. I think like this. I say
yeah.
This is not
true. Do you know that?
It reached my turn to follow chop Nigeria.
Yeah, everything's spoiled. I saw that tweet with this guy. What's his name?
Ezra.
Aki. Nobody even Ezra said. Aki Tollgate was listing like in 20 what? I don't know which year. We read out 2016. Flights to Abuja, 12K. Round trip to Dubai, 100 and something thousand.
It reached my turn to follow go find babe for Abuja. Follow go, go chop life for Zuma Rock. Things cost, still spoil, and everybody take them. He say they watch your service online, babe they your chest. Share an Netflix. He watch your service online, babe they your chest.
The babe will be your wife now. If you be your wife.
Baba, they need that kind for church.
But even if your wife.
For church, you want to go to church for church.
Make she dey spirit.
You say
only one day. Only one day we got to make you just sit down in front in the congregation of saints, gathering of saints. Now you see you already your church.
But you know they say when two are gathered, there's the presence of the Lord.
Gather big day your chest.
I do. You say what?
I never replied that guy mail.
Oh, forget that guy first. Leave that guy. Make that guy the one side first. They laugh.
Somebody say, so no man of God for this country fit turn floor to water. Are you water to floor? No one. For this whole country. Now I think they say we don't lose. We are God. We are God.
They play.
To be very they say all this stuff. They mention me for their
Baba.
You think that today for Twitter? They talk, can you finish this food in 1 hour?
They say, can you say what can Tony I do for you? That's a stupid question.
IBK will post food. He will say, can you finish this food in 1 hour for 5 million? I go look say
you don't chop that food. You don't see himself. Say can 3,000 naira just can you manage 3,000 naira? Olushi.
IBK go say, if you have engaged my pin tweets, open your DM now. Let's talk.
Open your DM. When they say, IBK. You see, when we elect Peter Obi finally, we have to close some of the scams people are doing in this country. I'm telling you, we'll come after you. We'll come after people like you. I'm telling you. When we win this case, we'll have to come after people like you.
God.
You are enabling fraud.
You get one guy. The guy don't tweet since last year. One tweet with no blow since last year. The guy can't tweet time again because of this Elon Musk. People they find it. Guy,
but I don't see that guy with tweets. That guy with tweets. Ope crashed with question mark. But they won't cost that guy life. Why would you do something like that, dude? That doesn't Nigerians know they know the limits. They know the line. You want this? You don't say that kind of tweet.
And you don't get OP for your phone.
No, bro. No, you know how social media works. That's a very dangerous tweet, guy. That's a very very dangerous tweet. Now, actually, very dangerous. Because even the OP self for office, the people begins they go first run around for a minute. I hope is everything okay? Some people feel begin online unnecessary panic.
They say that their back end guy will suffer that yesterday because they go just the reason say waiting this up now. Say why app will crash.
because you dey look for engagement. I just like say people turn on the guy on the same timeline in real time. Then say this. So people don't they report the guy account first.
Of course, sir. Somebody say person die, you post death to the wrong person. Now you be the right person. You know what I just is it Nigeria they do in this country?
I swear to God.
I been a brother
the right person.
They can't put that pop picture. Papa they look like this. Oh boy, I swear. They need to find way to monetize memes. Papa will be the richest entertainer in Africa. Like, honestly, you guys will say I feel so. I hardly, these days when I watch football, I watch the game and I sort of learn to enjoy the game. A lot of fans don't enjoy football. A lot of fans don't enjoy football game. They just watch the game.
Get on emotional roller coaster.
Stuck in their, and it's nice, right? It's nice if you can wear it and remove it. It is nice, right? But I like to enjoy the game as well. If you go back to the opening day, the Community Shield, I didn't watch Arsenal. I think it was opening day actually. Arsenal were playing very well. I was watching Newcastle's game. I was like, man, like there's some principles of play I see for here where really makes sense. Which is why I feel very sad for not very sad anyways. In the quality of money, but I feel a bit sad for Jurrien Timber. I think those first 2 games were in play. You can see why United wanted to buy him and why he was scouted by a lot of top clubs. To see that I haven't seen the story about the injury, but I just saw somebody say 7 months. I was like, Jesus Christ, like 7 months, man. 7 months is such a long time. Like 7 months is literally next year March or thereabouts, or February, something like that. Yep. And it's crazy because I thought that guy. I really thought that guy was Ben Zinchenko. Like people don't, people say, oh, yeah. I honestly think Timber for Ben Zinchenko. Is it in Ben Zinchenko or in Ben Gabriel? One of those two players would have left the team for him to play. I'm certain about it. Or in tactical setups in big games, you would have played ahead of Zinchenko at that left area. So I thought the guy would give Arsenal an incredible tactical solution. So if you watch the first game, they played Ben White at centre back, right? Then they played Partey at right back, right? And they played Timber at left back. Now, Timber is the one that makes it possible for you to play Ben White at centre back and now play Partey at that position. So when Timber is in possession, when Arsenal in possession, Timber, when they want to build from the back, Timber and Saliba then go play at centre back. Ben White will slightly move out to the right back area. Then Partey can go back into midfield. Like if you watch the tactical dynamics of that team, I thought Timber is the one that made that possible. I don't think Zinchenko allows you that level of tactical flexibility. Obviously, people say, "Oh, he can play midfield," which I think is nonsense. To be fair, he can come into midfield, he can play, but in the end,
Zinchenko actually plays in midfield for Ukraine.
No, he plays in midfield, but how effective? Do you get? So there's one thing about knowing how to play with the ball. Do you understand? You can play with the ball, but in terms of what's the overall benefit to the team, do you understand? I don't necessarily think that Zinchenko playing in midfield generally benefits Arsenal, especially when you have Xhaka and Partey.
For Zinchenko, what he does, and I hear what you're saying, what Zinchenko does with the ball in terms of, in transition, he's a guy who, in possession, he can pick a pass, he can move the ball quicker, he can find people in very tight spacing. That's what he's really good at. And I quite understand what you're saying. Does it really, affect our attacking play that much? I don't think it does, to be honest. I think he's very good on the ball. He moves the ball quicker. In many ways, Martinelli had such a good season last time out. I thought he could have had a better season if he had Tierney playing at left back, because Martinelli is a guy who thrives on, he always wants to come inside. He wants to come inside. But with Zinchenko, Martinelli was going on the outside more. Martinelli wants to come inside. But Zinchenko is not creating that overload for him, for him to be able to, that decoy run for him. But
what Zinchenko does well in terms of, if you're playing, that's why I said against teams where you're going to dominate possession, Zinchenko is the guy you want on the ball because he can keep the ball, he can move it. But in terms of, really affecting the way we overwhelm an opponent in terms of attacking plays, I don't think he affects our team game that much.
Yeah. Have you guys sold Tierney already?
Tierney is on his way out. I think so. I don't know if this injury to Timber will affect anything, but Tierney clearly was on his way out. Real Sociedad wanted him, but they want a loan. Arsenal want to sell because obviously Arsenal want to sell so that they can bring somebody in. They don't want loan. But I don't know if this injury will affect anything because you're looking at the timeline and wondering, even if we sell him now, I mean, we're talking 13 days. I mean, 14 days? How do you bring in a replacement? Except they have already earmarked someone and they just want money to go and pick him. I don't know what happens with that.
Newcastle are also in conversation for Tierney.
They've moved on.
They were, but I think Newcastle are more interested in this Chelsea left back Hall. I think they're engaging Chelsea a lot. Chelsea wants a loan deal. The boy wants to move permanently because obviously he doesn't see a future at Chelsea. So he wants to go to Newcastle. Solid player. I told Viola last season. Hall looks like there's a player in there.
They look Chelsea fans, they melt down because Chelsea go sell Hall. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you people? You sell club. You know what's the funniest thing? Hall is they said I don't even know. I don't know before. They said a boyhood Newcastle fan. But the truth is Hall is the midfielder. But that's where he plays. Now because of say Charles no day, now why they play for left back? Wait, what's the why?
Name big pass Casemiro. Wait, audition to go play strike. He goes into the penalty for them.
When you can't say he can't go Newcastle because he doesn't see a future, which I agree because I don't see how in the Chelsea team, even though you are good, they are still 18. If you go to Newcastle, who you want bench for the midfield? Where you want follow enter the midfield?
If Newcastle. If Newcastle are trying to buy him, obviously there's a reason.
No, I think most likely
I'm sure. Because Dan Burn currently plays at left back, and Dan Burn is not a natural left back.
He's
not. If I'm not mistaken.
But
he plays it very well.
Dan Burn is a guy who, if you've got a quick, winger on him, he's in all sorts of trouble. But he's a very, sensible positional wise. There are not many times he gets caught out because he understands his position. He understands how to hold the line and not get excited and go up. But obviously, Eddie Howe wants a player who can bomb up and down the flank, the way he plays. And Newcastle have got a very solid side. I watched their game with Newcastle, Aston Villa. I think it did before yesterday, and I thought
very, very good.
Got a very solid side.
Yeah, very good team. I was just going to ask before we leave this Tierney conversation. Timber. If Timber was fit, do you pick him ahead of Zinchenko?
Yeah, of course. I play him ahead of Zinchenko because you made a comment last time we recorded, and I thought it was very salient. Arsenal scored a lot of goals. I think we scored 5 or 6 fewer goals than City last season. If you offered me the opportunity to take 10 goals out of that team last season, from an attacking point of view, and concede 10 fewer, I think I'll take 10 fewer. And I think Timber clearly is a proper defender. I said he's a proper defender. He's someone who he likes to defend. Martin Keown said something many years ago. He said a lot of defenders defend to earn their money. Not many defenders love to defend. When you see defenders who love to defend, you see John Terry. They love to defend. You see people like, I don't think Rio Ferdinand loved to defend like that, but he's a good defender. Van Dijk, good defender, doesn't like to defend, but you see proper defenders. Timber is that kind of guy.
What do you mean Van Dijk doesn't like to defend?
No, he doesn't like to defend. Clearly, he doesn't like to defend. You can see it. But if you allow Van Dijk, honestly, if you allow Van Dijk will want to ping passes 60 yards. That's what he wants to do, just distribute balls and tell people what to do. He doesn't like to defend. There are people who like to defend, and I think Timber is one of them. I probably have him in that left back position. And you said something, Timber, Zinchenko is very good on the ball. Timber is exceptional on the ball too. He's somebody who can keep ball. He can stride out of defense, but he doesn't get excited. He understands his position. He knows that I want to be here and defend. Nothing against City. I thought that I've not seen Kyle Walker have such an underwhelming game like he had against Arsenal, because he lost to maraud down that flank. And Timber was exceptional. He played so well. He didn't get excited. He understands the job and did it well. It's so heartbreaking, that Arsenal are not going to count on him for many months.
That's literally, in my opinion, that's I think it comes back at the business end of the season, and that's really sad. But just a few things on Arsenal before we leave the Arsenal conversation. That first performance against Forest, 2-1 obviously, but I thought some players were exceptional. Obviously Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, but already you can see that the team is on a solid base, which is why we're missing Timber. But you can see the base of the team. And I think if there's anything that Teta has realized is that Partey is very important for that team, right?
Yeah, of course.
If you say after Partey,
Oh God!
I'm in an Arsenal group. And when early July, when the deal with Declan Rice was getting pace. And I thought the Arsenal fans were like, oh, let's sell Partey. He doesn't stay fit and blah blah blah. I'm getting a young Lavia and blah. I said, I don't have a problem with you selling Lavia. I'm selling Partey, but I'm very sure you will not make top 4. I am very sure. I'm so sure you will not make top 4, because as good a player as Lavia is, as good a player as Declan is, you don't rip off the spine of a team, because you are trying to, improve the team. Declan Rice comes in. Obviously, in many ways, it's an upgrade on Xhaka. He's a good player, has more legs, technically better than Xhaka and all of that. But you need Partey. What Partey did, Partey on this, for managers, it's always good to have players who, when you put them in certain positions that, they are naturally not accustomed to, they can execute the role so well. I saw Partey at right back, and I've not seen him many times there. I saw him against Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest have got players who are quick off the ground, and I thought he played so well, in executing the tactical dynamics the manager wanted to do on the day. And in midfield, I find it very difficult to believe that there are many midfields in the world, and I'm not even talking the Premier League, that can outshine or overpower Partey and Declan Rice in midfield, because they complement each other in many ways. When you need legs and an ability to sprint, you've got Declan Rice. When you want someone to be very calm and very progressive with the ball, you've got Partey. They complement each other in many ways. So if Arsenal had sold Partey, I am very sure the fans would have turned on Arteta.
I think that the most important point you have even made is that, save for, I think Xhaka wanted to go.
Of course.
Right? Save for that, on your way to winning the league and trying to build a team that dominates, and all that, you cannot be chopping at the heart and spine of the team because you are bringing reinforcements.
Yeah,
you're supposed to be stacking. Because beyond performance on the pitch, beyond this player plays here and this player plays there, you want to create a team that is building up that confidence to be able to say we're going into the league and we're going to win it. And you can't build up that feeling. You can't build up that mentality by because we are bringing in new, exciting, and shiny toys, we can always do away with this one can go, that one can go, unnecessary. Of course, if the players say they want to leave, with their reasons, and you can't convince them, they have to go. But it would have been a massive. You look at what's his name now, Rice. I saw a part of his interview with Rio Ferdinand, where he said he's learning so many things from Arteta, even down to something very basic as Arteta telling him the time to stay still and maybe the time to run and all that. You can already see the rise that sometimes he doesn't even know how to manage himself in a game. He runs himself into the ground. At some point, you can see that he's gasping for air. It would have been a serious, maybe impossible job for him if he was the only one left in that midfield without passing.
Yeah. Anyway, let's leave Arsenal. I think there'll be. I feel like Arsenal are the ones we talk about most on the show. So this has been a safe landing for Arsenal this first couple of minutes. Let's touch Chelsea Liverpool. Let's start with this a signing of Caicedo. I think that after that game, the club, if they were not convinced they needed Caicedo, went out there and paid the money. Which was always my position from the beginning. The transfer market is such that other clubs can do your math for you. You get. That's why I didn't think it was possible that Chelsea would get Caicedo for anything less than £100 million. I said I maintained the same thing all summer. It was never going to be possible that Chelsea Brighton sell Caicedo for less than £100 million. It's not possible, right? Whether Liverpool came into the picture or not, it wouldn't have been 115, but it would not have been less than £100 million. Because when you sell all these people and all that kind of stuff. But back to it, after the Liverpool game, I thought Chelsea played a bit above their levels. I have to say. I would have to see a bigger sample size to know if that was a team trying to match expectations and opening day of the season, or a team, that still needs a bit of work. Obviously, with Caicedo coming in, the fewer said about that, the better for everybody. But I thought they played ahead of their levels, and ultimately, if there's anything we can tell is that they'll need somebody to partner Enzo to allow Enzo a bit more freedom, because that guy can play. I don't know what you guys think, man, but we're at Chelsea. I see fans excited. They're gonna do this top four. You can't tell from one game. I think that's tracking position. Those four positions. I like Martinez, so I'm not gonna judge him on the strength of one game. Those four positions would still need a bit of work. Sterling is going to be a problem, honestly. Is Modric. Obviously, you need to give him a bit more games to see, what he's trying to do. But that midfield will be certain for sure. Then we talk about this thing in the defense. We're watching the game together. You go back to the defense, right? It is still the area I believe there is a bit of issues. I'm happy to hear that Rezies is not injured. That he was just, tired, right? But what did you guys think of the IBK? You don't need to try break me in since talk.
If you know Pod very well, he demands a lot from his team. Like I said on one of the episodes, I knew that it was going to be easy for Chelsea to go for him. Knowing his style of play at Southampton, as Tottenham, you see how much he always demands from his team, especially when they are transiting from the defense to the attack. I knew that they were going to go for that game. And to be honest, it's not even about them playing Liverpool. That's the way Poch sets up his team, from the flanks down to the center of the field and everything. He always wants to get the best out of the team. And I think for Jackson, I'm not really confident in him in terms of his conversion rate. And I feel that he's not this type of striker you can expect to score maybe 20 league goals. He doesn't really dance around the box a lot. He wants to also get involved. And I think if you have a team like Chelsea, you have guys who can create like Enzo and the rest. You don't have any business coming outside the box. Just try and stay around and trying to find how you can get the goal. But generally, I feel that what Chelsea can how they can go this season, I think they should be able to make the top four easily. They should be able to make the top four easily.
Easy.
This top four, right? What?
Easily.
The only team that will make the top four easily this season is Manchester City. Make no mistake about it. They are the only team who will make the top four easily.
So
every
honestly,
other team go slam.
Bro, if you know very well, game against Liverpool, that's the way
relax,
guys.
Relax. You say where you don't meet Sport before.
Where you think Noah? When you take that, tell
you don't talk to
I don't
talk
see
it like 10 times.
I remember when they tell me, say, you know, reason say Chelsea need port or something like that. And I said, if you are looking for a manager who understands the Premier League, I've seen him at Southampton, I've seen him at Spurs, and I can tell you that this guy is someone who understands the Premier League very well.
Make you not understand that.
Go and write it down today. But especially when it comes to working with young players, Poch, he's got that.
I don't hear this entire.
Easily.
It's the truth. Their managers who are very good with, their managers who are very good with, young, hungry, ambitious players. Yeah. You give them very big egos in the dressing room, and they are not capable of, really getting a tune out of them. But for Poch, clearly has demonstrated from Southampton. The sample size is not that huge, but you've got to think about the fact that, at Southampton, he had, exciting young players, and they were a team to look out for. And at Chelsea, and I said that at the back end of the last season, at the end of last season when he was appointed, I thought that if you've got this brand of young players who are ambitious and hungry, he's someone who can get a tune out of them. And evidently against Liverpool, you could see the running power of that Chelsea team, Gallagher in midfield, running, Enzo. The football they played on the day, was really good. You can inspire a bit of confidence that, you can't talk about top four now. You'll be foolhardy thinking about top four now.
So
you've got to look at that.
What I always say about what I always say about a team that has a lot of running power is that it's like when you're building a car, for example, you have the choice between a powerful engine and the weight of the car. So, for example, in the F1, you can't have, you can't put a G-Wagon engine on an F1 car. Even though it would ultimately give you the speed to blow everybody away. Do you understand? So if you extrapolate that to football, if you transfer that to football, rather, when you have a team that has a lot of hard workers, more often than not, they're not as technical.
But this is not the case. But this is not the case.
Hold on.
No,
so you have a
guy
so you have a guy like Gallagher, for example, right? Who's going to work hard, put himself about and whatnot. You have a guy like for the sake of conversation, Chukwuemeka, who I haven't seen a lot, but worked hard on the day as well. If you decide to play more quality, do you understand? If you take out Caicedo, take out Gallagher and play somebody else, say Caicedo, take out Ramsey and play a more creative, let's say, or a more progressive Michael Mudryk, you start to lose already some of the grafts in the team, right? So there's always that balance to be found. What you want. It's the same thing. It's not quite the same with Arsenal, with Timber and Dzeko. I use United as an example, right? When United played City under Ole and Liverpool and co, we know what we're going to get because we know that we'll play McTominay and Fred. You understand? If you go farther back down, we'll play McTominay, Fred, we'll play Marouane Fellaini. We have blocked the team. You understand? But will we get the results? Will we score more goals? You probably won't. But you get that gusto all the time. So that's the balance that the coach has to find with the team. So that's why I said, is it a case of them playing above their level? Because what I know from players like Gallagher and co is that all these young players, you can ask them, you can ref them up for one game. You can ref them high. Like this game, they say we're not good. They say you're not good enough to be in the team. They say this is you have to show it. But over a season, you need players that.
So I think I quite agree. I think that the good thing, the good thing about that is that I think there's a feeling of we need to prove a point generally in the squad for the players that are left from a few of them that are left from last season and everything. There's a general feeling of we need to prove a point. We need to, what have you. But the truth is that the first game of the season, you can't, based off the performance of the first game of the season, you can't look at the end of the season. There's so many things that can still happen in the course of the season. You don't know if the players can obviously retain the mental position of, we go into every game, we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do this. But for me, from the Liverpool game, what I was most impressed about was, and it's true, when it doesn't matter what the team is doing, when they come into a big game, there's naturally that idea of, we're playing a big game, so we need to. Case in point, the Liverpool game Chelsea played immediately Potter got fired last season was one of the best performances of last season. So what I was most impressed about from the first game of the season, in my opinion, was, Pochettino, the moment he was hired, there's been that conversation that I felt like, look, when I just debrief, mid-season starts. He has evolved, he has gone away for a bit, he has this, he has that, he has that. But from the first game of the season, I could see that, this guy is looking for tactical solutions that are not conventional to, I just play 4-2-3-1 the way I used to play. And, that was why even in the post-match conference, there was almost a bit of back and forth with the press guy that was saying, you play 3 at the back. He said, no, I play 4 at the back. When we have the ball, we build up with 3, but we play 4 at the back. So there's that, we're looking for a tactical solution. Sterling was just an embarrassment with decision-making. But the position he played was also a tactical decision as to, this is where you play. Because I went back and I saw, this was why Sterling wasn't going wide. This was why Sterling was in between Liverpool's midfield and Liverpool's defense. It was keeping Van Dijk guessing. Should I go to Sterling? Robertson, should I come to Sterling, or should I go to what's his name? James, that was overlapping. So for me, that was what I was most impressed with. This guy is looking for tactical solutions. He played Chilwell not as a left back, but as a left winger. What's his name? Colwill was more left back than Chilwell on the day, especially when Chelsea didn't have the ball. So for me, that was what I was most impressed with. As to what they do, because they played the first good game against Liverpool, so they are going to make the top 4 easily. I think that's reaching. For me, the 2 teams that are most assured to get to top 4 is Man City and Arsenal. Every other position is up for grabs, in my opinion, because they are the 2 that are most. They have a more balanced, a more continuous in terms of squad, in terms of performance, right? So yeah.
Let's touch Liverpool quickly. Look, I've had this opinion for maybe the last 2-3 years thereabout. I hope that I'm proven wrong, but with every passing game you see it. Managers tell you they're going to set up the team based on the strength of the players, right? Jose Mourinho is most famous for saying, I don't coach football players, I coach football teams, right? And what that means is that he looks at the global picture of the team and say, you know what, this is how this team is going to operate because these are the qualities of the players that make up the team, right? When I watch Liverpool play, I just feel like Klopp has obviously everybody has an idea what he wants to do, and irrespective of the players' unique qualities, still goes ahead to demand, you try and do this. You understand? Because obviously you can see a good player, McAllister. You can see the guy. Honestly, I think that was a steal. If anybody, McAllister I think McAllister can walk into any team in the top 4. You understand, right? But I don't think that Jurgen Klopp appreciates enough how players like McAllister fundamentally operate, right? Because it's almost like the team has it has a handle, then it has a sharp edge. It doesn't have the swing. Do you understand? So how do we build our game? I don't think that Van Dijk is going to be comfortable stepping into midfield to do all the things he used to do way back, do 30, because obviously the pace is not there anymore and he's not as confident as he used to be. So where is the build-up phase of the team? Because when they get the ball, they're pretty much a transition team. They get the ball from defense, they try to go attack immediately. What that is going to mean is that you're going to get counter-press a lot. And Premier League games, the ball is going to be like this constantly. So in that entire game, I can't remember a point where Liverpool were trying to control the tempo of the game.
Yeah, just retain.
Find solutions, which is why I think if you have a guy like Trent in your team, then again, I think about it a bit more deeply. Trent is a player who also favors the transition. Once a runner, can they retain play for what 2 minutes there? But I don't think they have the qualities to, or they have the qualities to, but the manager is just like, you know what, this is how we're going to play. We're going to play high. We're going to go bang, 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 bang. But then again, you don't have the player to play that bang, bang, bang again. For all Luis Diaz is, he's not close to a pressing machine like Mane was. This pressing thing is one thing to press, to know how to press, to have legs to press, but it's one thing to understand the tactics behind pressing. Yeah. And if you watch Mane, Firmino at the time, they understand pressing more than most center forwards in the world. The way Mane presses, Mane knows if Firmino goes, he knows when to not to go or when to stay. And I don't think you can coach that to a player necessarily, right? Like Gabriel Jesus, for example. Gabriel Jesus can press, has the legs to press, but also has the brain to decide in the game. So in the game, for example, if the other team sets a trap for you, you can tell that, okay, they are setting a trap for us, and I'm going to modify the idea of how I'm going to press. Now, this might sound a bit too tactical, but I don't think that Luis Diaz, Jota, Salah, or any of these new cats have the idea of pressing the way Firmino and Mane had it. As a result, I think the onus is now on the manager to iterate the team in a way that favors their skill sets. And I don't see that happening at Liverpool. Szoboszlai, McAllister, if they had Caicedo, there is a chance that they can do this, transition thing. But they're not going to get him, obviously, and it looks like Chelsea will get Lavia as well, right? So where do you now go with that? Someone said Klopp might get fired. Klopp might get fired by January. I think that Liverpool would be. I think that there's a trepidation about firing a guy like Klopp, because he's a darling around. Aside his coaching, he's great energy around the place. All that stuff is charismatic. All that stuff. Where are you going to find another manager like him, right? However, I can see why people say that, because the team doesn't look like it's progressing. And obviously, you can't say off the back of one game, but when we watch the game this season, we can have a bit more insight as to has he worked on different things from what we normally know? Because from what I saw on the first day, it looked like, same old young club. He's just trying to get the energy back up. And that energy, I think, that ship has sailed a long time ago.
And for a manager like Jurgen, for a manager like Jurgen Klopp, for a manager like him, you've gotten to almost the very highest level, doing one thing that has worked for you over the years. It's always very difficult to reinvent yourself. Very difficult to say, let's try something else. Let's do it differently.
And it's not very difficult.
It is difficult. It is difficult because he believes in fundamentals. He's a purist. He's like, I like this thing. This is what I like to do. It works for me all the time. Same issue I had with Arsene Wenger over the years. When Arsenal were badly declining, Wenger was believing that we had to play in a certain way. We had to sign players, who knew how to do this thing in a certain way. Klopp has to sit down and tell himself the truth, because the points Yubi has made about Firmino and Mane, those are things that you can't find players like that. They're not in the market. You cannot just say, oh, this guy knows how to press. It's one thing to know how to press. There's another thing in understanding the complexities in pressing, or you would just be wasting energy. And that's what Diaz and the rest of the guys do. They just waste their energy. They're not really winning balls. They're not causing havoc to the opponent. He's got to find a way. And if he consistently goes in the way he's going, trying to play the same thing with players who cannot quite execute what he wants to do, the results won't come in this. And Yubi makes a very, very great point. I think he's got to find different ways to explore the abilities of his players to the advantage of the team.
I'm just going to ask a question. I'm just going to ask a question. Is there any player currently in Europe that can play the false nine better than Firmino?
No chance.
No.
There is not a chance.
This is where I was going to come to, that another element of
why you lie?
You wait. Make I talk with you. I want to talk first. I was going to come to Firmino. Don't be saying that the same thing I want to. Another element on Firmino and Mane on their game was, even though they were pressing machines and they were really good in transition, they were also very good on the ball. You can't compare Sadio Mane on the ball to Luis Diaz on the ball. You can't compare Firmino. Yeah. Firmino can play.
Very good point. So even
when they are in transition and Firmino picks the ball up and he plays a pass, he's going to find Sadio Mane. He's going to find Sadio. And when Mane picks the ball up and decides, you know what, I'm going to go on my own, you can't stop him. He go dribble you, he go dribble the next person. So, and you don't have those kind of players now, which is where Luis Diaz has a lot of industry. He gets ginger, but he's nowhere near Sadio Mane. On Sunday, the only thing I saw that Klopp tried to do was try to invert, what's his name? Trent. So Trent, that was why the second goal, the Salah goal that got disqualified for offside, it was a pass from Trent because he came into the midfield, he was inverting, and the pass came to him before Chelsea could react. He let the ball roll and then he played the pass. That was the only thing that I saw Klopp tried to do differently. But when you look at
he did that a lot at the end of last season, you know, trying to get Trent into that inverted role, and it's worked.
When you look at the fact that you don't have a lot of players that are now comfortable with holding the ball, taking a pause, and playing, even when you have a defensive midfielder, you still run a risk of, if you play against a very good side. Remember that time they played, and I know it's Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid. Not every team is like Real Madrid. But the case in point was when they played that Champions League final, they were at their very best of pressing and counter-pressing and everything. But look, if you play against teams that can hold the ball and take that pause and play, and you have players that are not really, they go, even with your defensive midfielder, they will still run you.
Yeah, they'll pick you out. That's true. Because even when you think about Fabinho, for example, the way I see it in my mind, I think that, you know, Fabinho, Liverpool's team was so successful, right? Because I think so many players, they had about 5 or 6 players that were the best in the world in that team, right?
Yeah.
And I'll count them easily. Kante has had the last 5 years as, when you aggregate his performances, maybe the best central midfielder in the world. But there was a season or two, or a season and a half, that Fabinho was bona fide. The most.
Yep. Fabinho had one. He had one
complete enforcer.
Like that. Yeah.
You understand? And when you think about it, Fabinho and a guy will say, could he play Man City's team? Yes. Could he play in Real Madrid's team? Yes. Because, like if I said, he could also play. You know. Yeah. Mane could play. So what Klopp did with this guy Gakpo, for example? If Klopp did that same thing with Mane, it will work easily because Mane can play. You bring to midfield, Mane can play. You know, but so you're trying to ask of players. I mean, if I make a good point, you know, you want to play against a team like, let's say, Arsenal, for example, or a team that can just take a second to find the spaces, because the spaces are always there.
Always.
The pitch never changes, right? And you're never going to, no referee is going to allow you to play 13 players. So if I can find that extra pause to play that pass, if you play against a guy like, you know, like against a guy like Enzo, who, even when the game is very up and down, can take that extra millisecond to eliminate one player and just see a little bit more. And that's what's happening.
Yeah, I kid you not. If on Sunday, if that Chelsea attack was a team that had played together, that knew that, make I pass him here, and Sterling wasn't so much of an embarrassment, I think Chelsea could have gotten the second goal. Obviously, Liverpool had their chances too. Fair play to them. I'm just saying, like, in terms of the playing and passing and picking, I think Chelsea would have gotten the second goal if it was a team that had played together, that had a bit more rhythm to them going forward. And I think that's it. I mean,
who are Liverpool going to sign? So is Lavia going to?
They're almost done with this Endo guy from Endo guy from Stuttgart. Yeah.
I think Lavia is going to Chelsea now.
I think
I'm talking Endo. Liverpool are finalizing a deal for
Endo, yeah, and
Japanese
Dokore,
guy, Endo.
Dokore from Crystal Palace as well.
And they're looking at Dokore from Crystal Palace as well.
Dokore, yeah,
Dokore from Crystal Palace is a good signing. I think he's a good signing.
Which is why I also think also asking the question, why didn't they at least get Ward-Prowse in the team? Why didn't you get Ward-Prowse in the team? You know,
well,
it sounds like no, they need a DM, but they also they need a DM, but they also need a CM that plays on the right as well. You understand?
You see,
why did they get Ward-Prowse in the team? You know, and people can say, oh, he plays for a team that got relegated. Why not looking from Newcastle? And this is not this Newcastle. Newcastle were doing relegation and cool when he got Wijnaldum from there. Henderson came from Sunderland, if I'm not mistaken. So all of a sudden, I think that you're going away from the model that if you're so bent on sticking with the model that's worked for you, that is also a transfer policy that worked for you. You don't go for this high profile play. Robertson came from West Sunderland, if I'm not mistaken, or where? Hull City.
Came from
no, Sunderland. It was Robertson that came from Hull City, yeah.
Right. So I that's why he still does my head in. You know, why a guy like Ward-Prowse wasn't sought after. It would have been
I think the major problem with Liverpool is actually the sporting director thing, really, because I'm now seeing that since Michael Edwards left, they brought a guy in that did maybe.
They had four guys. They had four guys.
Exactly. They brought a guy in that did maybe 6 months and left again. I think they brought one other guy that didn't do up to left. Then this guy,
the guy that's just here now will leave.
He's just here for this summer.
For the transfer window.
He's going to go.
You get so I think enough. Yeah. Not said about Liverpool.
Just on the side, West Ham have agreed a deal to sign Konstantinos Mavropanos.
As man, you don't really give them Maguire now.
I think Mayu are being Maguire is being silly, but in the end, to be honest, I'm not worried as long as he's not in the first 11 and he's not going to be in the second 11. If someone is not injured,
not going to anything be in the second 11. Which 11 will go content?
Anything we want to make him do.
No, but what is it money? Why is the deal not happening? Is it money?
But I hear it is Ten Hag that's the one that now finally made a decision that look, if we sell him now, we'll have to go and look for a replacement. So let him remain.
So I think it's a mix of both. It's a mix of both. United are off the back of trying to manage the image of how they let their players go, right? United don't want to be seen to force him out of the club. You understand? Ten Hag has told him, look, right, you're not going to be my first 11, right? And the reality is also that he's the 5th choice at centre back. So Ten Hag is hoping that this information I've given you take it and put it to use.
You go by yourself.
You understand? But Ten Hag doesn't want to be seen as pursuing him out of the club. But it is clear. The first choice centre backs at United are Varane and Martinez. The next choice under them is Victor Lindelof. After Victor Lindelof, the next choice is Luke Shaw. After Luke Shaw, then comes Maguire. So he's the 5th choice. And I don't think United also believe that they can get a deal for Pavard in time. Bayern Munich have just paid a lot of money for Harry Kane. And they're thinking, if we let this Maguire guy go, this Pavard deal might drag. And I'm thinking,
Yubi, can I ask you a question? Is it wrong for a player under contract to tell you that he wants to fight for his shirt? Is it wrong?
Now you say you're wrong. It's not wrong.
The way you are painting Maguire is as if he doesn't have anything to offer again. He's saying that he's under contract and he still has a lot to offer. We've seen players. Hold on.
When did Maguire tell you that he wants to fight for his shirt?
That's
shirt they available now.
Wait,
when shirt they available now, you go fight for. When shirt they available, now you go fight, but there is no.
Is he on that contract or is not on that contract? Is he not on that contract? Is he not on that contract?
No.
Is he not on that contract?
I thought
I don't blame contract.
I thought he's not.
Now only I blame.
And are you so sure that he will not be the few guys that for the rest of the season? Anything if he do this, the Man U defense. Anything if he solve the Man U defense, we see now Maguire will look up to.
Might tell you say you want sell and don't replace him. IBK.
But he no one go. Now by force to go. Now by force to go.
They no one go.
This guy.
No wala. So
I
think no one go.
Biola say Maguire should take every single penny that he is due from United. That only they gave him a nice send-off payment.
Yeah.
Destroying the club.
That's what.
Years.
It's something I said. I don't blame Maguire. I blame Ole. Now Ole, that's why you should find a way where you lock him up. Now Ole I blame. Because Ole came in, gave Phil Jones a 4-year contract, gave Maguire a 5-year contract, gave Bailly a 5-year contract. Give funny people. Anyway,
Man, you go there agree when Maguire never agree. Now go there agree for him back. Person tell you say never agree. Now go there agree for him back. Now say make
anyway,
agreement with that one.
The bottom line of this is that United had a clause in all the players' contracts, qualify for Champions League, and there's a bump in wages. So that bump in wages happened, and United, because in follow fight for the top 4. You understand? So if you're gonna let me go, you have to pay me for that effort that I made as well, because it's a contract. Think about these European guys, and what you have to copy them from is that they we can be friends, right? We can be friends, can be very best buddies, but and we can like ourselves, but we must when I contract, if you have to go pay me, there's no sentiment. There's no sentiment about that. You understand? No sentiment about that. No. If that for Africa, they go down tell and say, Baba, you safe now. We don't sign. They go down with Wincam. They go down blackmail and emotionally say, Baba, you they go. But it's do what is owed, and I think you have to pay him as well. So there's that. Anyway, let's talk about United, right? Since we're touching base with them. I like United fans be like obedience. You get once you be like say propaganda won't start. United fans will go bring them propaganda for an outside call. They say United now Manchester. Now man, you go bring pictures from when last season when give us VAR. So first of all, I think that Onana was lucky. Not Onana per se. United were lucky to 3 points, right?
Yeah.
It would have been a draw, but then again, you don't know if they go score the penalty. Because those idiots they get 27 shots, they don't score one goal. How you should they score a penalty?
That one guy.
Anyway, the point is that these things. This is not the first time we're watching football, right? These things can go for or against. And it will still happen next week again with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So I think
let's maintain the energy.
Yeah, I think that the uproar is for me and me personally. Say the new season is about to start. Oh, they've told the players this is the new rule, they've told the coaches, they've told the clubs. It's the first match day. If the VAR cannot spot something that blatant, it doesn't make any sense to me. And it's true. By the time you get to December, this thing go don't go around. They go don't draw for here again. They go don't draw for here. You don't go against this one. You don't go. So for me, it's like, why do you do all these things to protect the referees, only for them to come and drop this stinker after stinker? It is almost as if they even get rewarded. Anthony Taylor dropped a stinker of a performance in the Europa League final. He got Chelsea-Liverpool first opening game of the season. It's almost like they get rewarded. Oh, the new season starts. You say if you get fouled, you can't gesture to the referee that he deserves a yellow card. But the referees can just come and get a useless performance. Oh wait, the VAR referee, you are in a room, you dey watch TV. Your job is just to watch the thing and look at say come on. Check out this thing, and you still can't do that right.
So one of the reasons United, one of the reasons that I feel that there are two things actually why that decision stood for United. One, How Webb, emphasize that they want the refereeing to be done by the center referee, right? The VAR is not here to re-referee the game. So I think that in the first game of the season, it also played to United's advantage. So it's like when the game starts and somebody clashes into somebody, they will say, game just starts, make a yellow card, but it's actually a yellow card. You understand?
Yeah.
You've seen it happen so many times. You're like, that's a yellow card offense. If it happens anything beyond the 10th minute of the game, it's a yellow card. But because it's the first 3 minutes or first 7 minutes, that's I can't start carding. I can't start carding people now. So I think that's what happened to United as well. Right?
Discretion. That's what it's discretion is.
It was discretion. So they were like, now we talk, say we won't make referee decision stand. We don't want to over-referee the game. So I think that worked in United's favor. Secondly, if you watch the thing back, I personally think it's a penalty, right? If I gave my team, I would think it's a penalty. But I'll tell you why I also think and see why the referee in the VAR might have the two defenders pass with themselves first, right? And the ball is not in Onana's, the ball is not in their control when nothing happens. So two big men come together and Onana almost joins them. Do you understand? Which makes me feel like, the ball is not there to be won by any of them. So I also feel like that's also, the referee don't look and say, this ball not even the critical position. It is more or less like badgering, but the badgering is without the ball. Anyway, that's
finish this 15 minutes.
Let's finish in 15 minutes. So we've gone through United, Chelsea. But
sorry, UB. I just wanted to, before the thing stopped, I just wanted to round up United's my own thoughts about United. I think that it needs to be said also that beyond all this penalty, I thought that the best part of United's performance was Onana. I think that was the positive side of United's performance. Not even necessarily.
But I said Onana would change the way United. I said Onana is the top goalkeeper. When I talk about assistant, I play.
Calm down. Like you said at the beginning of the recording. It is one game into the season. So calm down.
Of course.
But I thought that. Look, it wasn't even the way the pass. Onana they play pass on the night, because I thought United were not good, but he did his job. Kept United in the game until United got their goal. And at the end of the day, that's what we want from a goalkeeper.
I agree 100%. That's why when I made the analysis on Onana, I think his biggest strength is he's one of those big game players. And being a big game player is here. So first game, I always say this thing, right? And I think Gary Neville says it, but he says it a bit too braggadociously. United are maybe the most unique club in England, right? The pressure that comes with playing for United is not the same, except maybe Real Madrid or maybe Barcelona. You understand? But I thought the players, I thought some of the players froze under that Monday Night Football, under the lights, in the Black Country. You get, I honestly, I thought Mr. Mount froze. Mr. Mount froze. Bruno had an unnecessary pressure of being captain for the first time, officially. Who else is there? Garnacho doesn't start for United normally, but they told him to start. I thought it was the worst game. Who else? Rashford playing number 9. And this is what I say, like, think about it. Monday Night Football, when everybody don't play, and the Monday Night Football they play, Baba, you are in trouble, first of all.
Yeah, I agree.
Then double that with the first day of the season, where everybody don't play. So immediately the game started, after the first 6-7 minutes, I said, United have the pressure don't get to United players. The pressure, you go see, Mr. Mount was trying to do too much. Baba, make a show. I go make a run here. I'm like, sometimes let the game come to you. You run too much. You are running too much.
Enjoy.
I think also.
Sorry, Rufai. Don Hutchison said that he had played football for so long until he played for one manager who told him, Don, you've got great running power, but the best players wait for the game to come to them. Not all the time you run and run and run. And I see
especially
Mount
for
do that.
11 aside. You know how big that field is.
Yeah, how big the pitch is.
Mason Mount, of course, I agree with a lot of things you said. I thought the players, a lot of them were, obviously, you can't read too much into it. It's the first game of the season. You want to win. Man City have won, Arsenal have won, Chelsea, Liverpool drew, Brighton have won. You need to win. It's your home game. So the pressure can be palpable. But I thought that for people like Mason Mount, that intention, and I mean, not really to compare, but I remember what Declan Rice did against Nottingham Forest. It was simple: keep the ball, move it around.
That's the wise thing to
do. When he needed to win the ball, just keep it simple. But I thought that Mason Mount was, unnecessarily trying too much, and it can backfire when he played against. And I was really surprised the way Wolves played. I thought Wolves played really well. I think Wolves are going down, but I've said Wolves are going down before the ball was kicked, and then I see them play like that, and I thought, wait a minute, if they got a goal scorer in this team, they'll probably get into the top 10 or top 12.
I think also United got sucked into, because, for example, with their build-up when they have the ball, they got sucked into we supposed to win. So they were focused a lot on their position when they had the ball and how we play. Because I felt like that was the only reason why Wolves could cut through United's midfield on the counter so easily. Because United were very, we have the ball, we play, we're in their half. We see, because
no. So sorry for you. This is going to be the point. I think if there's anything I know from Ten Hag was, if there's anything I trust him, is that I see a problem and he sees the problem as well. Jose Mourinho was like that as well. If you're watching a game like this, you'll say the guys come on this guy. If you don't look professional, you don't come on the guy number up. I think Ten Hag is like that. Mourinho is the master at that thing. Who else? I think Fergie used to be the master at it as well. The big problem is, and this is an unfair criticism, because Mr. Mount is now on my roster, so I support him, right? However, I thought Mr. Mount had a domino on the whole midfield dynamics, right? Now, because he runs too much, right, and goes where the ball goes, right, it affected Bruno and ultimately left
Casemiro
alone. So I'll show you how it works, right? United play Casemiro in the middle, Mount left to him, Bruno right to him, right? But because Mr. Mount is supposed to press high up the pitch, that's an area that Bruno is operating in. So both of them go to press the ball. And they go to press the ball and they don't win it. You get? And they cut through them. That leaves only one midfielder. Don't forget, when you go like that, Varane has stepped up as well as Martinez has stepped up. So the team all of a sudden is cut through in the first phase.
Yeah.
Do you understand? As opposed to having a vertical shape. With Eriksen, when Eriksen plays beside Casemiro, Eriksen is actually deeper than Casemiro. A lot of people don't realize it. Eriksen is actually deeper than Casemiro, because Casemiro goes up to win and mop up. And if anything, if there's a scrap up, Eriksen is there to recycle again. But you don't left Casemiro as a recycler in transition. It's not going to work. So I think that whilst Mr. Mount is going to bring a lot of energy to United's game, he needs to understand that you cannot occupy the same roles that Bruno is occupying. So in the first game, that dynamism and patterns was not there. When they brought Eriksen in, it was a bit. When Eriksen came in, Eriksen knows that this is Casemiro's strength. Casemiro is going to win the ball. If he doesn't win it, I need to be 10 yards or 5 yards away from him to clean the sweep up. So this is just one game anyway, but I think in his right, Mr. Mount ran too much. Onana was very composed. Varane is just Varane. I thought he was unruffled. Every other person was ruffled. Garnacho on the first day starting on the left wing. Garnacho be like, say, make I just take everybody on.
What did you do, Martinez? Why they come out?
Martinez was Martinez got a yellow card early.
Got a yellow card early.
Yeah, got a yellow card early. And the way Wolves were running on top, the color red card.
Speaking of
UB, I think Casemiro is the one I feel the manager needs to be very, very worried about this season. As much as we know how good he is, but I feel if you look at the way that Matheus Cunha guy was coming through the heart of the midfield, it was actually just directly towards Casemiro, and it seems the guy overpowered him.
Did you hear the analysis you made before you spoke? About the way Mr. Mount and Bruno were almost isolating Casemiro in midfield. Did you hear when he said that?
Now this is it. There's a man-for-man battle in that midfield, and I know Casemiro will easily win balls like that. I've seen him play Clásicos over and over and over again. This is a man-for-man battle, and I feel that United needs to be worried, and maybe because of I feel Casemiro cannot deliver as much as he used to, and there's what did you say?
Overcook.
No,
I know they cook, but not the fact. He cannot deliver as he used to.
My brother, cook is my brother.
Cook is my brother.
In that game, I feel they maybe it's time to start giving McTominay the same time. Maybe it's time to start.
Which name you mentioned just now?
McTominay now.
You don't know Michael Jackson.
But I sure see Casemiro. He perform as he performed last season. It's very obvious. They were trying to.
Is it the way you talk? You be like you want me to relegate Man U. That's why they give McTominay a chance.
I just want to say, you see this new rule that they brought, that you can't gesture to the ref that is a yellow card. I think it's
what a stupid rule.
I think it is the most stupid rule ever brought in football.
Keep your hands down. Let the referee do his job. I agree that one.
Wait. See, can I ask a question? I saw somebody tweeted this that is spot on. What is the difference between that? They foul you, you do like this. What is the difference between that and then foul you inside 18 and you tell representatives that's a penalty? It's what a penalty. It's a penalty tackle. What is the difference between that? I imagine
penalty is obviously if you foul somebody in the box, the person is going to go down and shout, obviously asking for penalty. When you tell when they are booking a player, you are telling the referee this player shouldn't be on this pitch. Give him the yellow card and then send him off when he does
In as much as I respect the way you analyze football, as much as I respect it shows that you've not really played the game. You don't have
it. God will bless you. God will bless you.
A footballer will naturally react. Baba na reaction. A player will react. It happens in all the sports. Happens in all the sports. Even Serena Williams, they tell umpire. Serena Williams, they fire for umpire. So wait till you come.
I was going to say that. Do the referees understand the real time psychological state of a player on the field? Now I know that you are trying to protect the referee, so I agree with don't crowd the referee, don't yell in the face of the referee. If that's the yellow card, I absolutely agree. But when they foul a player and the player never even stand up, he look referee do like this, and that is a yellow card, I think it is the most stupid rule ever brought into football. And this rule is going to create so many problems because very soon you go see say, maybe that yellow card with that guy collect, now I can make him get red card eventually.
It's obviously players don't go to the field expecting to flash imaginary cards at referee. They don't do that with intention. It's just emotions in the moment, reflex. But you see, when person start to chop red card, you see that reflex, you go stop. That's the point.
But no, you have to understand that. You have to understand that in creating ultimately, before organized football is at its most fun, at its purest form. Oh,
of course, I agree.
Adrenaline, emotion, everything joined together. Now, with organized football, we need to be more civil. We need to protect the stakeholders. As we are protecting the players, we protect the referees, we protect it. But ultimately, we need to find a balance between protecting the stakeholders, making it civil, and still retaining the fun that football brings. That purest form how does it protect the referee in your box? How does it protect the referee giving a yellow card to a player, not yelling, not running at the referee, not crowding the referee? How does it protect the referee giving a yellow card to a player that got fouled and gestured yellow card? How does it?
I'll tell you what I think it is. Hold on, Mini. I'll tell you what I think it is, and it might sound very Nigerian, it might sound very basic, but I'll tell you what it is. I think there's a bit of in trying to moderate the behavior of players and trying to create good role models, and I understand that for what it is. Football is not tennis. You get if you don't like the aggression in football, if you don't like the contact, if you don't like the passion, the game is not for you.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. It's not for you. In trying to make players be more accountable with their behavior, I think a bit of jealousy, you understand? And a bit of maliciousness has stepped in. So you're now masking your good intentions with a bit of maliciousness. All these players, pay a lot of money. Who do you think they are? You want to referee the game. Oh, come on, referee the game now.
I think they can just speak to the referee.
Can just speak to the referee anyhow. You understand? You can just speak to the referee anyhow. Come on, referee the game. So it's what Varane is saying. You understand? You call us. You speak to us. We have input, and you go ahead and do nonsense.
Yeah.
You understand? You go ahead and do something that. So why speak to us in the first place? And I think that I hope that when they spoiled the game, I would have in the 50 years or in 50, 60 years, I've done 70, I've done die that time. You understand? Before they don't spoil the game.
This particular one, the players should be protesting against it. I don't see the sense in it. I don't see how it protects the referee.
Because it doesn't make sense to try and say, oh, player 4, you understand? You call the referee tells you, oh, I hear you, step back. Give the player a chance to be a human being. You understand?
Yeah.
You want to be a human being, but you don't want the player to be a human being.
Exactly. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
No. Emotion is part of the game. You understand? And we've said it before. I think it was Javi that was saying, I'm going to talk about Barcelona just before we leave. Saying he sees why people don't watch La Liga. You understand? Because the league is a disgrace. You understand? After Ronaldo and Messi, that was the only thing people watch that league for. The competition, the league is flat. There's no energy in the stadium. It's just there.
You get. It doesn't get you excited watching it.
So that's why personally I would have loved Kylian Mbappe to go to Real Madrid, because you give them that that level. You want to watch them every week. Real Madrid, they are number one club in football, right? Barcelona as well. But you can't lie that when you watch some of their games, right, across board, when it's not Real Madrid and Barcelona, when it's not Atletico Madrid, you can see that it's a bit. You're looking for the action. And I think that La Liga have the best graphics and camera angles.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So what is lacking? What is lacking is that extra drama. You get, Louis van Gaal, has a foul against his team, he falls on the floor, and that's the talking point for the whole week.
Even the gameplay, they pass it. Bro, whether you like
all that stuff.
The emotion and the ability to see, like you said,
it's part of the game.
The coaches on the sideline, their player miss chance, then throw bottle water. It's all part of the show because at the end of the day, a new season is going to start. The Premier League chops up these clips and they use it as a montage. You know, it looks like a movie is about to happen. It is all part of the game. And more so, I can't even understand. You know, sometimes when they foul players, the foul to the player where they foul for his head. Now, like say this person will foul me, won't kill me. Sometimes the player where they foul for his head, they be like, this thing too, this guy won't kill me.
But Rufai, hold on. Rufai, do you know that? I'm sure you know this. That most players, every player who wants his opponent to be carded wants his opponent to be carded because he wants him to take his foot off the pedal a little bit. I hope you know that. If this guy is on a yellow card, he's going to relax a little bit, and I'm going to have a little bit of. I'm going to have a little bit of room to maneuver. That is an undue advantage. That's an undue advantage.
Is it the one giving a yellow card? He's not the one.
That's why the choice is not left to me to make. You understand?
It's not my choice now.
I can gesticulate all I want. You get? If I manage to con the referee, then the referee has been conned. You understand? Now I don't support Luis Suarez type behavior. That's what I'm saying. You understand? You can clearly see that Luis Suarez is
one don't carry out to next level.
He's a bit diabolical. You understand?
Barcelona back in the day, they call for penalty.
But goalkeeper catch ball. So you can that one is bad behavior. You understand? So I'm all for players cannot touch the referee. Because if there's one thing I know you can do very well in the world, every man can do it, is you have the ability to keep your hands to yourself. But what I say, you're controlling. That's my freedom of expression. It's fundamental human rights.
Only thing is but what you don't know is that now me, the player, they eat, no be the referee. Now me know as
now me the tackle, now me the hit.
Tackle take enter.
You understand? That's my right of expression.
You don't talk say I never play ball before. No one.
Is it not playing before? Say. You know what IBK is doing is in the lady foundation. So that one thing go tell you say you never did managerial environment. You never manage, so you don't know ball. So that day I wait for him. I wait for him that day. You get. But this Barcelona. They say they have revolutionized the team. They play two color card. I don't see watch the game. I see they don't color card. I say coach color card join.
That me Chelsea just thank God say they no sign the guy. That guy in a proper pipe. God.
But it's score against Man U now. It's score against Man U now. So you can't say that.
IBK, how far now? What's happened to La Masia products and Ansu Fati that you people are shopping him around?
They said that boy will be the next match. You went back at the opinion.
Injury kill him.
Said that boy will be the next match.
Injury kill him. At what age?
Injury kill him.
How old is Ansu Fati?
Fati had 2 ACL. The third one, he refused to go for surgery.
As a young player,
that's what messed him up.
Wait. What they saying? When he tore his ACL and refused to go for surgery.
He had 2 surgeries, right? Then he had another one after 6 months of returning, and then he refused. He said he was not going to go for surgery again. He wanted to recover the normal way. He didn't want to go for surgery, and that's what affected him.
Wow.
But you can't say that's what affected him. Players always reserve the right. Like for Pogba, for example, Pogba had an injury, and after consultation, decided I'm not going to
get that surgery.
No, I understand. What I'm saying is that it's like it doesn't make like you just like you've missed like 2 years or 1.5 years. You can't go for surgery again.
What I'm saying is that he had 2 surgeries. Now only player understand what's in the field for when they do rehab.
Exactly, yeah.
The player reserves. No. That's what I'm saying. So, what he said is that's what affected me. You don't know that.
No, the doctors are saying that it's better for him to have gone for surgery, but he knows how difficult that is for him.
I saw a video. They say Fati just come out from surgery. he score goal, he slide. Javi, they look at like this. You dey slide for grass. You will just come out from surgery. Are you crazy? Like, are you thinking at all?
Now, if you score goal now, one teammate go to follow. If you want to carry a box, stop that nonsense.
This injury thing. Look at Nicolo. I've been waiting the Zaniolo. I remember this guy was. Is he saying a hot cake? Go call him then. The guy, I think the ACL now scattered the guy career even till now.
No, but
Baba don't
now. No, he's an Aston Villa now. It's coming to Aston Villa now. He's coming to Aston Villa now.
He's not Aston Villa level normally. If you follow Zaniolo,
which level?
What are you saying?
So if he follows Zaniolo,
let me correct.
He's correct.
He's
not. Zaniolo has ever played at Roma. What do you mean he's not?
I don't understand. Like you said, was he at Real Madrid?
He's only ever played at Roma.
Bro, listen first now. The clubs coming for him then was not Aston Villa or
mention the clubs.
United. So
United will never for Zaniolo.
Club will never play for 9
Bro, you don't know Zaniolo. You know Italian league.
But wait, so
you see,
is Zaniolo not better than these Havertz that I have?
Is better than
that one we talk. No, that one we talk. Now, no,
better than Havertz. Man is. IBK just one pass on garbage, and you want more chopper. Zaniolo has never been Messi before. You understand? He was, Italian football has had Italian drain. So they saw a player that looked like could play. And say, what, this guy is one of our bright futures.
Golden boy, they tag him one time.
Golden boy, you understand? So it's not like say Real Madrid sign him before.
If we want to follow the trajectory of his career, no be Aston Villa is supposed to be by now. By now, it's too early. It's too early for him, bro.
Interesting. I don't know say you do what they call up.
And injury. Because same thing with Ansu Fati will end up in all these Valencia, all these. I'm very sure that was where we end up as well.
Yeah, Menesco was there. Anyway, we touched everything we wanted to touch on. Just so we can let everybody go.
Are we doing prediction?
Let's do predictions now. It gets for the weekend. I don't know if we can work.
Let's touch on.
I won't buy Amrabat. I don't buy. I just they play again.
We are buying him. He's on his way already. Sorry, this
Amrabat.
This
I'm gonna buy Amrabat. Lie.
Nobody
won't go to Liverpool. Baba, nobody won't go to Liverpool. Nobody won't go to Liverpool. Hey! Yeah. Not one person. She was like Macalester can say, oh, Chim.
Baba, that's fidelity video. Baba, that video they kill me. Oh!
Like, Liverpool. Anyway, let's do the predictions. The predictions, right? I'm going to start with you before we go. Forest Sheffield.
Forest 2-0.
Fulham Brentford.
Fulham Brentford 1-1.
What happened to Frank Onyeka? I beg. He wasn't in the squad.
Yeah, like saying gets small injury.
He had a muscle injury. He's had a muscle injury, but he's back. Yeah.
Okay. As for Frank on the phone, I don't DM Frank.
Well, I beg the chat. You really know. No feel blow the news. Just say them to me for Twitter. I'll just tweet on Instagram.
Oh yeah, now. Elon Musk.
I think it's fine engagement. Let's keep it going. Liverpool Bournemouth.
Liverpool Bournemouth 2-2.
You don't think Liverpool will win Bournemouth?
No, I don't think.
No, be me.
Wolves Brighton
1-1.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. Wolves Brighton. Yeah, I'm correct.
1-1. 1-1.
Right. Tottenham Man United.
I think Tottenham win 2-1.
Man United need to put their act together, man. Man City Newcastle. This game. Oh, Chim.
I don't know who wins. I think it would go either way, but I fancy there will be goals in the game. I fancy there will be at least 3 goals in the game, but I don't know who wins. This problem
where Haaland don't, where they don't crave for Haaland, where the brand don't come, Haaland will just look and say, God, what kind of thing is this? Bro.
I see Haaland.
Honestly,
I see Haaland they run headlessly yesterday against Sevilla. They find way past the come pass.
He go run tire. He no go fit explain. We go run tire. No explanation. You get. You gonna send clips of the burner to Bernardo Silva. Say, just put them for air. Put them for air. Anyway, Villa Everton.
I think Villa win 2-0.
West Ham Chelsea.
1-1.
Palace Arsenal.
Arsenal win 2-1.
I think Arsenal win by like more than 3. I think it's 3-1 or 4 or something like that. Anyway, let's go to Rufai. Rufai, let's pick up the pace so we can wrap it up. Palace Arsenal.
Rufai don't come out.
Rufai no day.
Go to IBK. Okay, you be the IBK review.
No, I don't. I thought you had it is IBK. I don't see a review. IBK, where IBK did?
I did. My brother, I did.
Right. Palace home to Arsenal.
Arsenal wins 2-1.
Arsenal wins 2-1. Saka anytime goal scorer.
No, assist.
West Ham Chelsea.
Easy win for Chelsea.
Yeah. Aston Villa Everton.
Draw 1-1.
1-1. Man City Newcastle.
2-0. City wins.
Tottenham Man United.
Tottenham wins 2-1.
Wolves Brighton.
Wolves win
1-0. Brighton the ball, I thought Brighton and Newcastle were the best performers in the opening day. Liverpool Bournemouth.
Easy win 4-0. Liverpool.
Fulham Brentford.
A draw. Scoreless.
1-1, 2-2.
0-0.
0-0. Forest Sheffield United.
Forest win 1-0.
Forest win. Right. Is it back?
Let's go to Oli.
I know they do.
What are you doing since now?
I know they do.
Personally on videos. Wait, is Rufai back?
He's not back yet. But who's up?
Best.
I saw the chop Hurricane Eye. God. The chop Hurricane Eye sharp.
Me they sack to jail. Me they sack.
I think they will start Tuchel before. They will start Tuchel before match. I'm convinced. For right now, no, I think it's a shame. They now like a bit of shame. They just want because it's like we should just fire this guy. That time we fired everybody, but now they're like because I'm sure they will not want to throw away this season again because this thing that Tuchel is doing, the team have no direction. Like you can't play up on Mekano, play the league at the centre back. Those are the two.
They fit call him back.
Who be that?
They fit call him back. I guess man, I never get job.
No. Me, I think that Nagelsmann left because of a hierarchical problem, with the club.
Yeah.
But bro, if you fire Tuchel now, man, maybe not Flick, they will bring back Flick, something like that. I don't know, man. Maybe they bring back Flick.
Flick is with Germany.
But yeah,
Flick is with Germany.
Flick will ditch your Germany job sharply. What's it happen for them?
You got problem now too. Nothing there.
Which manager will get fired first in the Premier League this season? In the
Premier League, Paul Heckingbottom, the Sheffield United manager. I think he's going to get fired first. Paul Heckingbottom. I think Sheffield United are in a bad place. I mean, when you are selling, you got promoted with Burnley, and then you're selling your player, one of your best players to Burnley. You got promoted together. You sell Sanderberger to
Burnley, the name of the game now.
Yeah, but it's a recipe for failure. It's a recipe for failure. You cannot do that. You get promoted with a team, and then you now sell your best player to that team. It's madness.
Let me full and sell Mitrovic. Sharp.
I thought they said you guys were looking at Paulinho too for Fulham.
I think Liverpool should buy Paulinho.
Yeah. Paulinho.
Liverpool are like
the problem with Liverpool is that we no one sign player with 28 years. Now the problem be that. And that's the reason why they are stalling. Yes, this Amrabat thing too, they are stalling. Imagine, because it's 26. I don't understand. They want to sign 19, 20.
26. Like those are his best years.
26, that's his best year now.
Me, I don't think you can have a young defensive. That's what I don't think I have like a young defensive midfielder. He doesn't have the experience. That's the most important person in the team.
You understand? You can't eat your cake and have it now. If you get a young guy, you have him for long, mold and everything. But also,
why do you think?
No experience.
Why do you think Camavinga or Tchouaméni have not been able to nail that middle down for themselves? Like, Nami go play this middle alone. It's the most critical area of the pitch.